Hello everyone, welcome back to our Solidworks course. In this new video, we will be taking another example. We will be using a lot of patterns in this example to create this 3D model. Let's take a look what our example is for this exercise. You can see over here that we have a Geneva wheel and all the dimensions for the same have been mentioned here as well. Without wasting any time, let's get started with SolidWorks and begin with our modeling. Once we are in SolidWorks, we will create a new part using Ctrl N and then double click on part in order to create it. Once the part is created, we will start sketching on the front plane. I will click on the front plane and then select Sketch. First, I would be creating a sector. A sector is nothing one part of the circle. For this, I would be using a center point arc. I will start my center from over here, that is our origin, and I will specify my arc to be this way. The end point of my arc would be at a similar level as the origin as shown by the inference line. Next, we will select the line command and draw two lines connecting the ends of the arc to the origin like this. Once we have done this, what we will do is that we will define our sector. I will enter the Smart Dimensions command by using the right mouse button and dragging my mouse upwards. Next, I will select these two lines and specify the angle between them to be 72 degrees as shown in the reference image. Now, I want the radius for this arc to be 58 millimeters. I will specify it and you can see that my sketch is now completely defined. Now, what I will do is that I will first extrude this. Go to Features, select Extrude Boss Face and extrude this from the middle plane. I want the thickness of this to be 8 millimeters as shown over here. I will enter 8 and then click on OK to extrude this part. Next again, I will start sketching on the front plane. I will click on front plane, select Sketch and then first set it normal to the screens by using Ctrl 8. Now that we are in the sketch mode, I will create a slot in order to create this cut over here. I will go to the straight slot and create a slot from this point over here until a point somewhere over here. I will create a slot in this way and now start defining it. I will again go into the Smart Dimensions and specify the center point of this slot, that is the inside one. It is specified using a circle, that is a PCD circle of radius of diameter 56 as shown over here. I will draw a circle from the center and end its perimeter on the center point or the inside center point. I will take this option over here that says for construction and I will click on OK. Now that we have created a circle, I will give it a dimension, that is of a diameter 56. Once we have entered this, we can see that the circle is now completely defined and now I will give this a width of 12 millimeters. Now that we have defined it, all that we have to do here is that generate a cut. We will go to Features and then select Extruded Cut from our features over here. Now I will again create a cut from the mid plane, or rather I can select through all both. It will cut all the material from here. I will click on OK and generate this cut as you can see over here. Once we have created this cut, by using the circular pattern command, we will create a similar cut on this edge as well. I will show you how. From the top down, we will select circular pattern and in the direction I will specify this edge to be used as the axis. Directions, I will use this edge to be specified as the axis. I will manually give the spacing, so I will select instant spacing and then here enter a value of 72 degrees. The features to be patterned are our extrude cut 1. You can see here that it is showing our extrude cut in another direction, so we will simply reverse the direction. Now that it is here, I will click on OK and you can see here that it has generated our cut. Next, what we will do here is that we will generate this radius of we will generate this curvature of radius 30. For that, again, we will select the front plane and then sketch on it. I will use the Ctrl 8 shortcut in order to set it normal to our screens. Now here I will simply generate a 3-point arc. The first point would be here, second point would be here, and the third point would be somewhere here. First I will align this arc at the center of the line. I will show you how. Let's say I will create a center line from the origin up till the center of this arc. It is showing here. You can see that the center point has been snapped. I will move my endpoint on the center point of this curve and then click it in order to create it. You can see that my center line is completely defined. Now what I will do is that I will set these 2 points as symmetric about the center line. I will select first point, select the second point, and then select the center line. If I leave my control key, here we get the option to make it symmetric. Now the only thing that we need here is to specify the radius. We will go to Smart Dimensions, select this curve and give it a radius of 30 millimeters. Next, we have to specify the distance of these points from the ends, that is over here. We can see in the reference image that it is 8 millimeters. I will select this point and align it parallel to the edge. I'll click here and enter 8 millimeters. Once this is done, this would obviously be 8 as we have set them symmetric. We have completely defined this sketch, but we have not closed it. In order to close it, I will select this edge over here and then convert it into my current sketch. It has successfully been converted. Now we will trim off the excess entities, that is this one over here and this one over here. If I click on OK, now you can see that my sketch is complete. We will move to features, select extruded cut, and from here we will select the contour that needs to be cut, that is this one and this one. From our features we'll select through all both. It is showing the preview of what material would be cut. If I click on OK, you can see that my sector is ready, and now we need to pattern it. Here again we would be using the circular pattern command. Instead of features, now we would be patterning bodies. We will click here in bodies and we'll select this one. We will delete it from over here. We will set the direction or the axis of a circular pattern as this edge again, and in bodies to be patterned I will have to first uncheck this and take this one. I will have to first uncheck this over here and then take bodies. In bodies to be patterned I will select this body and I will give it a equal spacing, and here you can see that in this image we want 5 instances of this pattern. I will enter 5 as the number of instances and you can see that our shape is beginning to form. I will click on OK and generate this pattern, but you can see here that 5 bodies have been created. In order to combine them, we will go to Insert, we'll go to Features and then select Combine from over here. Here we have 3 options: Add, Subtract and Common. We will select Add and enter the bodies that need to be selected. We will select all of these bodies and click on OK. Now here you can see that our body has been generated. This is how our Geneva wheel would look like, but it is not yet ended. We have to create these holes over here. For that again we will select front plane and then sketch on it. I will use Ctrl 8 in order to set it normal to our screens. Next I will create a circle from the origin over here like this. This would be of diameter 12 as shown over here. Once we have defined it completely, we'll go to Features and go to Extrude Cut. We will select through all both here and we will press OK. You can see that this cut has been generated, but we have another hole over here that is at a depth of 3 millimeters. For that again we will click on the front plane, go to Sketch and again draw a circle from the origin like this. The diameter for this circle is 24 millimeters. Once we enter 24 millimeters, we will go and click on OK. We'll go to Features and select Extrude Cut. Here we know that we want to create Here we know that we want to create a depth of 3 millimeters rather than creating a through all cut. What we will do is that here in the from section we would be selecting offset. Rather, we would be selecting surface, face and plane, and we would specify this face as the start of our cut. And in blind, we will enter 3 millimeters. You can see here that it will create only a cut of 3 millimeters from this face. We want this cut to take place only for 3 millimeters as shown over here. The direction of our cut is also right. Once we are ready with this, we will click on OK and generate our cut. If I set it to isometric mode, you can see here that we have finally completed our modeling. This is how we used circular patterns in order to create this Geneva wheel. This looks complicated at first, but if you use patterns, it is very quick to generate and very easy. I hope you all understood how to use circular patterns in this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.